La leyenda de la sucia.
So right now what I'm going to show you guys, or at least what I'm going to talk about, especially if you're new to this NPD or narcissistic abuse thing, or what a narcissist is, or what a narcissist is, I'll explain to you right now, at least quickly. And just because somebody exhibits some of these doesn't make them a narcissist. I mentioned that before. You do need a doctor to be diagnosed with it, but someone can have these characteristics or traits, and they're just toxic, just toxic alone, which is in that cluster B, say, which is, I'm gonna give you a quick breakdown of at least what narcissism is. These people, they're not what you think. They're the polar opposites almost. It's not bipolar, but I mean the polar opposites of each other. For you to understand and get it, at least for I had to understand is they're not what you think they are. They're not nothing. It's like literally from one pole to the other pole, total opposite. It's the yin and the yang, all the way in the yang, or in the wing. It's the yin and the yang. It's just like on the opposite sides of each other, and see that side of them. They don't want nobody to see them without the mask, their real identity, because they come off as the shy, vulnerable, the victim. I call them the victimas, or better yet, as my colleague, which calls them the Guadalupanas. The Guadalupanas, the ones from the church, the Jezebels. They call it Jezebels, the ones that, La Santa Maria, those that are praying. Sorry guys, I laugh because it's just, yeah, that's them. They're the ones who never do nothing wrong. It's always everybody else's fault. Why is... So notice from the beginning to the end, at least in the transformation, or depending on where you are with them. So in the beginning, we all know they love bomb you. You're the king of the world, yada yada yada. Second, is when they already start to devalue you. They don't really see any value in you. They start seeing you're not perfect anymore. They know that you're not Prince Charming in their white and shiny armor who was going to rescue them. Because remember, you were the rescuer. You were the one who saved them from this abusive man. And blah 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 blah. And so understand, you're supposed to be always entertaining them. Remember that, always entertaining them. So, and if you're not, then fool, there you're gonna go. And that's where I seen these vultures. Oh my fucking god, man! I thought I was a damn vulture. I'm like, dude, I'm a vulture, but fuck, dude, you mean throw a bone to the other ones, but I'm talking about they're married. They're married men. Their girlfriends, their families. I'm like, what the fuck, but everyone wants to have their cake or their steak and eat it too, or whatever that saying is, but. So, and then another thing that they do, at least that I noticed with my narc, is if you question them, or if you hit them up, or if you ask them hey, by the way, your phone was ringing last night. What happened? Who was calling you? They're quick to divert, and you won't even notice it, how fast they are. Next thing you know, you're arguing about something else, already diverted from the original question. Notice that, passive aggressively, more sneaky. A good example is say, I mentioned, if you got a promotion at work or whatever, and you're explaining it to your narc, or to my ex-narc at least, I would explain, hey, I got a promotion, or hey, they're looking at me to move up to the next step. They're like, oh, congratulations, congratulations, but it's very passive aggressive, oh yeah, congratulations, they must have been. No one must have been running for that position. Someone is not running for it, probably, huh? Or oh, really? Cool. Yeah, there must be that California state law that passed that's giving everyone raises. They'll make sure. Did she just insult me? It's one of those, did she just insult me? But, it's very passive, very, you don't know, but they're jabs. They're actual jabs. And they condition you. What is condition you? Is just over time, repetition of brainwash conditioning. So they're already conditioning you very, very, they're doing it slowly, and next thing you know, you're going to be questioning yourself. You're going to be doubting yourself. You're not going to be, that instinct, you're going to start acting more like them. You're going to start snapping like them and being irritable, because they're already conditioning you to be like them. Like it's remember, you are an extension of them. Like you're a part of them. You're not you. They took that from you. They've conditioned you. They've gaslighted you. They've denied your reality. They've took your identity. They've made you. They laughed at you, pretty much. They've laughed at you. That's all they've done. Manipulation and gaslighting are like almost hand in hand when it comes to what the purpose is for. The main thing, at least, is for control. It's if someone is manipulating you, or someone is especially like denying your reality, shit they've done to you, like, you know, that push-pull game, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the crocodile tears, the whole facade, the whole show, the whole drama. When you're done, one of the side effects, or a side effect of it that I noticed, is trusting. You do have a difficult time trusting. You know, you even have a difficult trusting yourself. You know who you are, your own judgment. You know, you start asking for approval for everything. You know, you start asking for, even for the dumbest things, like, you know, hey, should I get ketchup? Like, you start asking for ketchup, like, on your burger, like the dumbest things like that. And if you're not aware of it, like I said, you're gonna be stuck in the trap, because the name of the game, or at least what I see from the game, is as they're going along, as they're puppeting you, because they already know how you work, so they already know what gets you mad, they already know what pushes your buttons, so they know how to get a reaction out of you. So if you're a jealous person, then they're gonna make you jealous, for they can get a reaction out of you, for you can pretty much throw a fit, or at least prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. If you can prove them right, to their people, they can show them you, because they triangulate. They triangulate you. Like, if you hear someone else saying it, someone that doesn't even know you, judging you, and is already coming through other years, it's gonna take a toll on you. It affects you, because you know you ain't doing anything wrong. You know that, like, dude, I ain't doing any of that shit. Or like, dude, she's the one, you know, abusing. Like, she's the one running. And that's my main thing, guys. Let me just. And I see this a lot, or I've actually heard this, is they'll move your keys, or they'll place your keys somewhere else, right? And then they have you looking for them, going crazy for the keys. Like, you know I left them here, and they took them and left them somewhere else, just to fuck with you, just to that's what I mean by conditioning. That they'll condition you like that. You know, like I said, those little things that you can notice if you paid attention, close attention at least. Notice as well that their words never match their actions. You know, they never match their actions. So they'll tell you one thing, like, you know, that they're going to get a raise, or that they're going to buy you. They don't want you to see that what they're really about, you know, which is when they first met you, they weren't really going to stay with you. They might have told you that. They might have made plans with you, just like they do with me and everyone else, you know, of what they want for the future, but they don't. As soon as they find out that you're not perfect, as soon as they know that the next guy makes more money, or has a bigger house, or has better property, or has a 401k plan, or has a a yacht or a boat, you know, just because of that, because when they discard you, what you don't know, if you don't catch on, is they already have someone else. If you're discarded already by them, they have someone else for sure. A main one, a second, third, and a fifth string, in case, you know what I mean, in case Tom Brady over here, you know, a fumble or something. But so yes, they do. So if you're discarded, so they already have the next person they're gonna go on. So when you're left hurt, you're left scarred. You're left with no answers. So that's like the big one of why is they don't leave you with closure. They don't give you can chase. It's for you can go after them. It's for you can make yourself look like the crazy one. Wink, wink. You know, for me. I want you guys to see what it is. I know it's all over the place there, but it's, like I said, I'm having trouble focusing lately, especially lately. Anyway, calling them, you know, because they're showing their texts to their, or at least the ones they want. You know, they don't show everything. Everything gets filtered, at least with, because remember, they rewrite history. They will rewrite history. Believe me. So someone else, or they're out pretending. To me, that's the worst one. Is pretending. Like, if someone leaves you because there's no more love, by all means, I get it. Like el amor no está, se acabó el amor, and goodbye, thank you, and you learn from each other, and it wasn't meant to be. Thank you. But it's not like that. This is not a normal breakup. It's what they do is calculating. They perfect it as they go along. Like everything they did wrong with the last one, they do with the new one. So they start becoming, like I said, master manipulators. I told people, especially like the mother of my child, I'm like, I know you feel him distant. I know you feel him, away. Like he don't communicate with you because, first of all, you're not at his level. In his eyes, you're not at his level. You're below him. You're beneath him. You're his servant. You know what I mean? You're replaceable. Plain and simple. You're replaceable. You're just as good as. So another reason why they avoid you, or they avoid, for example, my narc avoids me, or avoids people talking to me, or avoided people not to communicate with me, was because of that. Like, I'm a reminder. I'm a reminder of what they're trying to run for. I'm a reminder of what they're trying to hide, which is the truth, which is that mirror back to their face of, hey, it's not what you said. Things didn't play out the way you said. Things didn't go the way you've been telling them. Like, it hasn't been like that. Like, did I cheat on you in a point in my life? Yes. And I've asked for forgiveness, and you took me back in, and obviously you didn't. And obviously, like, she had told me, I never forgave you. So I'm like, then why did you take me back if you didn't forgive me? And she thought about it, and she goes, oh yeah, I did. I'm like, okay, make up your mind. Like, I'm telling you, they're ridiculous. It's just, you're not gonna get through them. You're not gonna. And that's what I had to realize. For me to let go of my narc, for me to let it go at least, and is understanding that they're human, but they don't feel like you and I. Their agenda, their addendum, their path is totally to the left, and you're to the right. It's you don't merge. You don't merge with them. You know what I mean? Well, they want to merge with you, but I mean, you don't merge with them. Like, you don't become a team. It's always competitive with one another. But so I hope I touched on everything about covert narcissism, or at least what to notice, guys. Like I mentioned, it's hard to notice in the beginning, but if you gone through the cycle, like I mentioned, when you leave, they leave. They're with someone else. They're gonna come back. It's they just jump from bed to bed. They literally do, until they find the next better thing.
God will use people in the world, people who don't even speak your language.
Love you, Daddy.